Well, there are lots of ways that people are helping the environment.
Yeah, you know, Andy Mangan with the U.S. Business Council for Sustainable Development is here to talk about ways to go green. And, you know, to start things off here, a very interesting way that one business is actually using energy. They're using the cutouts from the diaper leg holes to fuel their business.
Well, that's true. That's a company called Wholesome Cement, which is got a plant up in Morgan, just northeast of here, and they use a variety of waste streams to fuel their cement making process. It's a really helpful effort because they're able to take these streams out of landfills, maybe out of dump sites that are illegal, and turn them into products, really. The cement that's being used to build the new buildings downtown Salt Lake City and roadways around the state. So they're doing that around the world. It's a very impressive and successful effort that is highly supported by the U.S. EPA and others who are responsible for regulating environmental issues.
Okay, so we have diaper holes. What else?
Right.
What other kind of trash is being used, or waste, I guess?
Well, anything with significant BTU value or calorific value, that it could be mixed plastics that might be wind up in a landfill and be there for the next 1,000 years. Well, that's not of any use to anybody, but if you're able to take that, turn it into fuel pellets, you're able to turn it into actual product, which is the cement. And they also have make use of fly ash, which is the ash that is left from the burning of the various fuel streams, and that goes into roadbed materials and actual concrete as well. So it's a nice kind of circular economy approach where you're reusing everything, a little like the natural world where in nature everything's reused and there's no waste.
Now, you mentioned the EPA approving of these things. When I see things burning like this, though, a lot of times it puts off very noxious fumes. Is there any concern about that?
Well, that's a definite concern, and all of the companies, Wholesome and the others that are practicing this, are very aware and careful to monitor whatever the emissions might be, but they also burn at extremely high temperatures, so say 2,000 degrees or more, and the material that's there being consumed as a fuel is completely combusted. So both monitoring what's being emitted very carefully and that total and high combustion is a pretty good mix.
All right, Andy Mangan, thank you for coming in and talking about these renewable sources made from waste.
Oh, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
A Utah company is saving the environment, one diaper at a time. Isa Arnita live in Davis County with more on this story. And Isa, not just diapers, but tires and all kinds of things, right?
That's exactly right, Mark. You ever wonder what happens to old tires like these and diaper legs? You know, the part that's cut out of a diaper for the leg to go in? Well, usually those things are just sent to a landfill. But one company has a different use, a very good use for all these items. Up Weber Canyon in a town called Devil's Slide, one company is making a difference.
We just as soon do what we can to help the environment, help the society at large with their waste issues.
This is the Wholesome Cement plant. They make the gray powder that holds concrete together. Making cement requires a lot of nonstop energy and intense heat. Inside this rotating kiln, the temperature is more than 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit, a third of the temperature on the surface of the sun. Most of the energy comes from coal, but 30% comes from this pile of industrial byproducts. So what's in this blend of alternative fuel? Well, you got plastics, there's cardboard, but one of the primary ingredients, diapers. That's right, a diaper company in Salt Lake City sends their unwanted scraps to Wholesome Cement. There's even medical byproducts in this mix, like these dialysis discs. The company uses these materials as fuel to heat the rock that's later turned into cement.
The facility is phenomenal. It's very impressive.
Andrew Mangan directs the U.S. Business Council for Sustainable Development. He and business leaders toured the plant to share ideas.
They are working across industries to help solve problems that we're all faced with: energy, climate change, water issues.
Now, most of the recycled tires in the state actually end up at the Wholesome Cement plant. The company saves some 25,000 tons of coal and more than $1 million a year using this procedure. More and more companies are doing this. Mark, back inside here.
Very impressive, Issa, very impressive. Thank you very much.
A cement plant in Utah drew some national attention today because of their unusual method of producing energy. They are burning diapers.
That's right, diapers. And another company actually pays to get rid of them. John Hollenhorst took a tour and joins us with details. John.
Well, okay, I know what you're thinking. Dirty diapers going up in smoke? Ew. Well, it's not quite like that, but it is a good example of turning somebody's waste into something useful. A modern cement plant is on a much bigger scale, but even ancient Romans knew you can heat up limestone to make cement. Those Romans never imagined using Little Mermaid Huggies for fuel. That's what helps the Devil's Slide cement plant save nearly $1 million a year.
Of our total operating costs, fuel cost is roughly 1/3.
The traditional fuel is coal. Here they add to the fuel mix chunks of rubber tires and chopped up waste plastic. Much of the waste is from Kimberly-Clark's Huggies factory, leftover chunks of disposable diapers. They dump the waste into burners that preheat limestone to about 2,000 degrees. It reduces coal consumption by 30%.
We also are conserving a natural resource, and we're also keeping a lot of materials out of landfills that would normally just go there.
Here in the rotary kiln, temperatures get even hotter, an incredible 3,000 degrees, chemically transforming the limestone mix into Portland cement. Waste as fuel drew praise at a meeting this week of a national business group exploring green, sustainable business practices.
How do we make the most out of what we've got and move from a waste-oriented society to a 100% product society?
The group toured Devil's Slide, where a prime ingredient is another company's waste. People asking you if you burn poopy diapers?
Yeah, we have had that question raised. They're all pre-consumer.
Well, burning of tires and plastics has often been controversial around the country because of air quality issues, but the company claims the waste they burn is often less polluting than coal, and they're not permitted to burn any form of hazardous waste. Back to you.
It's the new word of the day, John, pre-consumer.
Pre-consumer.
Yeah.
I know that answered a lot. Okay.
I was going to say, I have diapers at home, and I didn't know whether to drop them off or...
Yeah.
All right, we'll leave it alone.
The Holcim plant makes more than 50% of the cement here in Utah. The whole operation is fueled by garbage. Here's a look at how the alternative fuel works. Way up in Weber Canyon, a cement factory is doing its part to go green.
You've seen them on the in the alleyways and on the streets, or if they're disposed of appropriately, they'll go in a landfill.
He's talking about discarded diapers and tires, the secret ingredients filling the Holcim cement factory. These usually unrecyclable materials are shredded and then tossed into a 3,000-degree oven.
They crisp up in a matter of seconds at such high temperatures.
Holcim isn't the only business using this alternative fuel. Thousands of factories around the world are giving it a try.
They join forces to share ideas about how they can make their operations more efficient, create new economic opportunities, jobs, and develop, but at the same time, do it in ways that are environmentally and societally beneficial.
The use of garbage not only gives Utah landfills a break, but also gives Holcim's bottom line a break.
We're saving over $1 million a year.
While they say the savings are nice, in the end, it's all about the environment.
And as a company policy, we just as soon do what we can to help the environment, help the society at large with their waste issues.
Holcim burns more than 25,000 tons of diapers and tires each year.